Let's say you wanted to take the Java desktop application you created and publish it for the web using a browser plugin. It's actually a fairly straightforward process, and the version of the app is called an applet. Before we get started, I want to show you that I have this file called data.xml. I'm going to double-click that file and look at the source code. And you'll notice here the source is just exactly the same source that we've been kicking out from our database. I just copied and pasted the source code, so you can view that in a web browser and then go to view source. Copy and paste that into a plain text file and change the extension to XML, and you'll have this file here. So what I've done is I've taken that data.xml file and I put that inside of a folder called resource. So that's in my resource folder, and then I have the com folder, and I just took those two folders and dragged them into the source folder for my project. So make sure you close out that data.xml file, and let's take a look at appmain.java. In here, I've just condensed all of our code into one class. An applet basically works just like a regular Java app, except for your main class needs to extend JApplet. And JApplet's a visual class similar to JFrame. So this class is essentially the view class. And really the only change that I've made is I've called load data. Instead of passing in a URL, I'm passing the path to the resource. So that first / gets us to the root of our project, and then inside of there's the resource folder, and in that folder you'll see data.xml. So if we scroll down to the load data method, you can actually see how a resource is loaded rather than data from a URL. And it's actually not that different at all. On the documentbuilder.parse line of code, all I changed was the value passed into the parentheses. And I typed this.getClass, so that grabs the class, which has a method called getResourceAsStream. This is just built in, and I didn't have to define that myself. So then I pass in the string path to the file, and boom, it loads in just like the other content loaded in. And so I could test that right now inside of Eclipse if I click the run button. And here you'll notice that the size isn't right, and that's because we're not setting the size inside of the Java code. We're actually going to set the size in the HTML element that will load the applet. So don't worry about that. So you see it works just like the desktop version did. And so I'll close it out. And that's it. So if you want to create a Java app that runs in the web browser as a plugin, just extend the JApplet class. And if you want to load a resource, create a folder called resource inside of your source folder and put your files inside of there.